we're going to wait for a few people to enter the room. So excuse the popcorn popping sounds. We're going to talk about the keys, suit of keys in the Fortuna deck. There we go. Pop, pop, pop. Oh, this is non-copyrighted music. Make up your mind. Hey Google, play non-copyright Ocean Waves. We're gonna have Ocean Waves, alright. Ooh, somebody liked me. Oh, TTM, hi. It's Waffles. So I was just on. I did a whole suit of candles. My throat's dry. Nobody wanted to talk to me. Like, I want some participation, so I bet you'll participate. Hey Google, volume 5. Let's see what's going on with this music. Okay, hey Google, volume 2. Hey Google, volume 2. Okay. Hey Google, Ocean Waves music. Looking for Ocean Waves. Anyway, not too many people joined. Somebody joined this. They want to see my face. Oh, okay. That's okay. I appreciate it. But Journey wanted me to make popcorn, so then I just thought, you know what? I'll just I was gonna kind of have it holding, notified that I'm gonna go live. But I thought, just be live and kind of hope some people, give it a few minutes to let people trickle in. Ow. I made popcorn, but it's hot. I mean, that's what you want, but it's too hot to open. So, when I did the majors, were you here for the majors, JTM? Because, I mean, the minors are very pippish on this deck. But still, I managed to find some things. And I think with some help, I could maybe find some more things. When I did the majors, Andrew and... Andrew and Ms. Tarot D and Maruda, I think, saw a lot of stuff that I didn't see, so that was cool. That's why I wanted to do a live, because people can look at these moons. Aren't they pretty? Alright. Well, I'll be right back. Hopefully some more people will join us. What do you say? Here you go. Oh, TTM, you are not going to believe my stroke of good fortune. Today I discovered one can of cherry Dr. Pepper that I thought they were all gone. It turned out I had one left in the box that I thought was empty. How exciting. If I can find a straw, that will be amazing. Oh, Lord, save me. Okay. The straws want to hide on me. Hi, Tarot Oracle. Is your twin here today? Trader Oracle? Or Tarot Oracle? You two confuse me sometimes. I can't keep you guys apart. I can't tell you guys apart. You look so much alike. Man, I'd love to blast some T-Swift, but they won't let me do that. Hey, Google Vines 3. I don't want to obnoxiously loud. Okay. Whatever. Here's the excitement right here. Right? I didn't say I had an issue. I said I asked if you were both going to be here. And then I got mixed up because I wasn't sure which one I was looking at. My eyes are old. I see T-O. I just have to guess after that. All right. Suit of keys, which would normally be the suit of swords. I was just going to say suit of suits. Rude. You're older than me, you know. I could be even meaner, but I choose not to. I choose kindness. All right, swords. So the other day when I was thinking up my words, those are gorgeous. Never hardly hear my notifications on this phone. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Fallon C. Aren't they beautiful? They're purple, and like here's the backs. Oops, and they're foil, obviously. Look at that. Whoopsie. Earthquake. All right. Thank you so much. So we're going to look at them together, and we're going to together, hopefully, brainstorm on like some of the visual cues on the cards, because they're very pippish, but there's enough there. Sometimes we can find things, right? So my keyword for swords is resistance, and some others are challenges, troubles, ideas, thoughts, opinions, and words. Now we have keys. So I'm wondering what the book of this thinks. The book of this. This is the Fortuna Tarot deck. And this was purchased for me as a gift from the lovely and old Tarot Oracle. And from the author, who is Maria J. Fajardo Priana. Oh boy. That name there, I don't know how to pronounce, but that's the name. Whoopsie. Okay. My throat is so dry just because I want to talk. Alright. So this is an alchemical deck. It's very thothy, even though doesn't really use thoth imagery, but it's similar with a lot of the stuff. And the suits are ordered, candles are wands, right? Then cups. And I don't order mine that way, so I'm skipping. I rearranged them when no one was looking, so we're doing keys, which represent swords. Excuse me. Right. I need some Dr. Pepper. Doctor, give me the news. I need you to like loosen up my vocal cords a little bit. I don't think drinking cold hop is the best thing for that, but whatever. The suit of keys, traditionally depicted as swords, holds a secret of our human consciousness and opens the gate of the occult and inner knowledge. Oftentimes, our thoughts and mental patterns can present themselves as the most difficult challenge for us to overcome. Right? It's so funny, like, you appeared and I was like, oh yeah, I've got a Dr. Pepper in the fridge. I probably should have just drank the coffee because it's warm. But whatever. Only those brave enough to face their fears are willing to learn what is behind those closed doors. Sometimes we face duality, or perhaps it is a broken heart. We bury those memories and lock them in our subconscious mind so that we can forget about them. Yet, they keep chasing us. The pseudo keys also represents the trials and confrontations. Is the music too loud, you guys, or is it okay? The pseudo keys also represents the trials and confrontations we must encounter to transcend our own pain, to fully surrender so that we can find peace. Knowledge is power. Understanding our pain helps us heal. When a door closes, another one opens. The suit of keys ultimately represents the healing journey our soul experiences from when it goes from living in a cage to reaching complete freedom. So, I like that. Like, the swords are sort of a challenge and a battle because we're fighting our way out into, like, consciousness. You know? Into the material, from the spiritual down to the material. Into being, into existence. When you're born, there's those stabs of pain. Okay. So in the Deccan walk, the Deccan we are now on would be 8 of Pentacles, so it's not going to be a while until we get to those. So as I said, my word was resistance, because I feel like I like that a little bit better than conflict or challenges, because I feel like, okay, you want something, you want to make something happen. Wands is your inspiration. Wands is your idea and your inspiration. And sometimes we say swords are your idea, like the inspiration and the idea or the plans or the thoughts or whatever, but you can also look at it as, okay, so now once you've got the inspiration, once you start to act towards it or even think about it, problems come up, right? Resistance comes up. When you're trying to manifest, resistance comes up. So I'm thinking of swords in terms of resistance. So this is the resistance that we got to plan for, that we got to face, that we got to deal with if we want to make our inspirations into something material and manifest in the real world. I am going to totally heat up my coffee. I can totally switch back and forth between Dr. Pepper and coffee. So no one said the music was too loud, so I'm guessing it's not. I'm going to change to all messages. Alright, so we have the Ace of Keys. Aces are aces. I mean, I love the wings here. Kind of shows like that airiness of the keys, right? And sort of the angelic, sort of like ness, you know. And then we got these little moons and the little key pattern and the crown, naturally, because it's an ace. So, I mean, I think, like I said, we all kind of know what aces are without needing too much visual. Nothing really particularly stands out to me. Then we have the twos, which are crossed. So this will also make you think of the Two of Swords in the Rider-Waite-Smith, because it's crossed. And it also maybe can make you think of the Hierophant, which I wouldn't necessarily normally associate with the Two of Swords, but I think in any two cards you can kind of bring some association of likenesses and differences. And also this strange little symbol here, we've got lots of things going on, but I just saw it as an eye and kind of like a third eye, because I think of the Two of Swords as being like, close your eyes. So I feel like it's a conflict between your mind, as shown by the swords, and your emotions, as shown by the water behind you. And you're crossed and your eyes are closed, and you need to look like sort of beyond into like your inner sense of knowing. So like your third eye. Teal, you're doing every other day now is like the rule? Or, I mean, it's your channel. And if that's what you feel like. I just thought it was like when, just when you felt like it, because sometimes I know you don't feel like it. So two of swords, we do have the crossing, so we have kind of that stalemate feeling, and maybe a feeling of like looking inward, looking beyond your regular vision and your emotion to your intuition. So I like that. That's nice. Looks like Moon in Libra. Seems legit. These cards are really thick. I feel like I have two when I only have one. So now we have the three, and we also have the cross, but we have sort of the plunging through, the breaking up of the two opposing forces. And so I think the reason that's painful is because there's a tiebreaker, so now we've got a winner and a loser, right? And so that could create some pain. Woo! And look how we've worked the heart in up at the top of the key. That's kind of interesting. And then we got this, I don't know, what is this? Could be like the sun or some type of energy that's just... And then the keys look like little bats, which could represent the air. So that's interesting as well. Four of keys. Okay, so this is very aligned very traditionally with the Rider-Waite-Smith in terms of the three, like, you know, swords. It's interesting because I can kind of see like that. Woo! I can see the key sort of being a sword, like with this extra line here. Actually, if you kind of blur your eyes, it actually can sort of resemble a sword. And then the one that's sort of laying and resting. And then we've got these, which kind of remind me of the flame of the Andrew! Hey! Yes! Andrew, thank you. Thanks for showing up. I'm very excited to see you, because I remember last time you had like you could see some things, right? You could see you saw some things I didn't see. So that's what made it fun. So this reminds me of the the flame for the United Methodists, actually, which represents the Pentecost. I don't think that really relates to the Four of Swords. But I don't know. I saw it. I guess you have the two, so you kind of have that sense of balance and peacefulness, right? Now we have the 5. This is interesting because this looks a lot like the staff of the Hierophant. And then this is like 2 of the images of the crossed keys for the Hierophant. So that's the 5 energy showing up as Hierophant. And the book says competition, hallowing. I don't know what that means in terms of this card. Betrayal and reconciliation. Lord of Defeat. I mean, that's the thoughts. Title, they're not keywords or titles, but I don't know, I just don't see the 5 of Swords that way. I get it. This card really doesn't even give me any kind of defeat. This is sort of majestic. Howdy. The 5 of Swords is traditionally depicted as a man holding 3 swords and glancing over his shoulder at 2 swords on the floor and 2 men who are walking away with slouched shoulders. The 5 of Keys symbolizes the inner conflict we sometimes experience, even after coming away from a challenging situation victorious. This card is ruled by the first decan of Aquarius, which is related to Venus in Aquarius. The planet of beauty and love and pleasure feels a bit conflicted, working with the sign of the water bear, Aquarius. 5 of Keys appears as a sign that sometimes doing what feels right to us may create some conflicts and disappointments to others. Okay, that's interesting. That feels like standing up for what you believe in, which is not really given as a keyword. Purpose 1, meaning that in order to preserve our stability and comfort, sometimes we have to make difficult decisions that may not be beneficial for others, but for ourselves. Interesting. I had a thought, and as I was reading, it appeared and it went away. Sometimes we have to make difficult decisions. I don't know. I just feel like it sort of could stand for standing up for your convictions, and it goes really well with the Hierophant. It doesn't go that well with the traditional interpretation of 5 of, or the general one you see of the 5 of Swords, but it's interesting, right? Now we have the 6, and I recognize Taurus and Aquarius. Go me. And we've got these waves, which I would say these. Now I said it looked like flames, but I'm going to say they're air, right? They're air movement. So where did I see that last? Okay, it was there, but I didn't notice it. And it was here, moving upward. And here it's moving sideways, which gives it more of that airy feel. And I think you can see, again, the opening of, well, maybe it is meant to be water in this case, because we often see the ship. But you can see sort of the canal, or the 6 is that open waters, So you can kind of see that, I think, in this depiction. Guys, let me know if there's anything else that you guys see. I'm gonna put some sugar in my coffee. I just feel like if I drink something warm, it'll really help my throat, help me be able to talk a little better. Tried drinking cold pop, and it just did not help my vocal cords one iota. I was in high school, I had a friend, and I said inkling. Might have said iota once too. And I remember her kind of laughing at me for using these words. And I've always been a reader, so always had a vocabulary. It's funny because Journey has the crazy vocabulary, and he doesn't read that much yet. And he's watches YouTube and he listens to me and he learns all of his big words from those two sources, and maybe TV or I was gonna say YouTube. I already said YouTube. Oh man. Yeah, I really wanted to finish this up, and for some reason my throat's just dry today, and nobody wants to join. And I want some feedback, y'all. There was some feedback on the majors. I know these are more pippish, but there's stuff here. I swear to you. I swear. So I don't know. You can kind of see like these kind of floating on a river, opening up, clearing a path for that movement into something better. Seven. Oops. Well, that's just so interesting. We've got the crossed ones in the middle, and we've got, so, all right, somebody's got to have some thoughts on this. There's literally like a courtyard. And what is the shape? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's a six-sided shape called? Somebody can tell me that. We've got this courtyard and we've got these crossing keys right in the middle. Seven of keys or seven of swords, or seven with resistance. There's nothing there that speaks to trickery to me. In fact, it even seems like it would be really hard to get away with any of these keys, because we're blocked right in. Like, so I don't know. Maybe deceptive intentions aren't gotten away with as far as this card goes. Cunning, betrayal, theft, imposter syndrome. Ooh. So it's ruled by the third decan of Aquarius, which relates to the moon in Aquarius. The intuitive and receptive nature of the moon has some difficulty expressing its nature in the abstract and highly logical energy of Aquarius. This card can indicate that sometimes our perceptions of others can end up in delusion created by the moon while confronted with real facts.
Kool-Aid, please.
Okay, shh. The Seven of Keys shows up as a reminder to be analytical in the way we perceive our reality. At the same time, the Seven of Keys is a 6 plus 1, where the number 6 represents nurturing, support, healing, and charity, and the number 1 depicts individuality, power, and the ego, indicating that our desires or emotions, are clashing with what seems more logical in this moment in time, leading us to self-sabotage our progress. See, I really like that because we've got the 6 with all the healing, and then the ego is getting in the way of that. But I don't really... I mean, I guess this would be the ego. There's not... This doesn't depict like 6 plus 1 visually. Talk right now. So, I don't know. These kind of look like bats again. It gives you that air quality. I mean, they don't have to be bats, but they kind of look like bats in a way. I just don't visually. Some of them I can see, and some of them I just really can't. Does anybody see anything I don't see that helps with the meaning visually? maybe trapped, like the self-sabotage concept, like closing yourself in. Refusing to see a possibility outside of deception or a possibility that like refusing to see a possibility where both parties can get what they need, sort of a thing. Sort of closed-minded in terms of self-sabotage. In terms of strategy, it does almost look like it could be some type of game of strategy. But I don't know. Moving on. 8. 8 of Swords. It's almost like a fence. Like a thought stopper, right? Like your thoughts can't get past this fence. It's kind of the best I got for this. 9. Ooh. This is just all tangled up. So this is really good. Like, you can think of this as your thoughts being all tangled up. What was it that keys... How were keys... Right, they hold secrets. Keys hold secrets. Because there has to be a reason to make a change. Otherwise, don't make a change, right? So I guess we're talking about working through... Ooh, that made me think of the saying, you're only as sick as your secrets, which really goes with me to the idea of being like up in anxiety ridden and not able to sleep and having nightmares and just having secrets that you keep repressed, and so they hold you back, right? They hold you in fear and they keep you, and they're all entangled. Like, you get this sense like this isn't a simple problem to solve. You know, everything is all tangled around with each other. So this is like, this is going to take some untangling. It's going to take some effort. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some patience. It's going to take plenty of patience to do it. To do it right, child. Okay, and the 10s. The 10. Did you want more?
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
It also could read.
Oh, Lord. Lord, make me crazy. Okay. So the 10, the finality. Hello, the Matt Burt. I think you meant to say hi. I'm gonna guess. Hopefully you're not another person here asking to, I don't know, for a peep show or whatever. Alright, I'm exaggerating. 10 of Swords. Again, you definitely get this, like, the way forward is barred. Like, this is the end of the road. You cannot move forward. It's not going to let you past. Or if it is, it's not going to be easy. Keywords, this is catharsis, wounds, recovery, restoration. And it's Sun in Gemini. There you have it. Sun in Gemini. Hashtag not all Geminis. Right? This is possibly one of the most threatening cards in the tarot, and for a good reason. The traditional image used to depict this card as a defeated man covered in blood with 10 swords stabbing his back. This card is so powerful and has so much potential for healing that I would like to reframe people's perspective about it. Okay, good. 10 of Keys signifies the ending of a long period of suffering. It means that once we acknowledge our pain and the reasons causing it, which was the problem I pointed out in the 9, was the secrets were all entangled and were keeping you, like, trapped. So once we acknowledge our pain and the reason causing it, we experience a major release. Okay. Just don't see release in the card, but okay. We finally understand and gather our thoughts about what has happened so we can move forward even if the truth hurts. Okay. Alright, that's good. Probably over time, you know, like working with the Tarot Marseille, you get to know the little proclivities of the cards and things come out to you. I think it relies more heavily on the astrology, but some of the cards I can see the things I need. I have to find some type of visual, I think. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around the keys. I understand they represent secrets. I don't entirely feel like maybe I should look more into the book. Like, I want them then to describe the meaning of the key cards in terms of secrets, right? So, like, the Five of Keys says, the Five of Keys appears as a sign that something, sometimes doing what feels right to us, may create some conflict and disappointment in others. Well, if you've used keys to can you tell me the meaning of the card in terms of secrets? Maybe this is something that will come to me with study, but if I'm gonna read the keys in that way, then I need that connection. Y'all with me? It's such a beautiful deck. And it'll probably read, just because I have enough tarot knowledge, it'll probably read pretty well. And also, like, one thing I like about pips, now these are all, even the majors are so are very symbolic. So I don't know that necessarily if you do a spread if it'll stand out, because I feel like when you've got the majors, and a lot of times you got majors and you got chords and you got a couple minors, so this is so pretty. This is so pretty. This is the Princess of Keys, and it's just pretty. We've got this heart, and this made me think of like a hairstyle, and we've got the lock, the keyhole. The princess has the lock. This makes me think of like Mulan, though. Princess of Keys. Now Mulan is a girl with a secret. See how that connects? Everything's got to connect. Curiosity, thirst for knowledge, decisiveness, and hurry. This sounds like I Had a Tiger, but it's called A Few Jumps Away. It's giving me anxiety. Princess of Keys represents our innate curiosity. Yes, okay. To learn new skills and explore new realms. This card symbolizes the thirst for knowledge that arises when we seek to connect more deeply with our reality and everything around us. Princess of Keys is astrologically ruled by the planet Saturn in Capricorn and Mercury in Gemini, embodying both earth and air energies. Okay. Alright. Okay, everyone said hi. You guys have anything else to say? Make me beg. Just for some interaction. Prince of Keys. I can see, like, it looks like a suit jacket. Kind of. And this looks like the heart in the spine. But also could be like the cork of a bottle. And then this could be like a diadem or a crown. And then we've got kind of like wings here. This is really freaking interesting. Assertiveness, ambition, fast thinking, impulsiveness. Okay. And these look like lilies. Sorry, guys. I keep giving you guys a shaky camera. Queen of Keys. We've got the crescent moon. Kind of a bow and arrow sort of shape. This is so pretty. This just feels very bejeweled. It also could be, looks like a gate, which is perfect for keys. I want to see what it says about the Queen of Keys. Independence, honesty, trust, arrogance. So this would be the Queen of... Oh, perfect. I was going to say this would be the Queen of Swords, which to me represents boundaries. And we've got this gate, and we've got this lock. And the lock, look at the lock. I was going to say this lock to me looks like it's closed, but they're all like that. So I don't know if it's meant to be closed or open. Like, so literally have a gate for the Queen of Keys. That's kind of perfect. Qualities of someone who has mastered the thin line between joy and sorrow. Ooh, true. And I mean, you can think of a gate as a line or something between separating two things as well. Now we're going to go to the king. So now we have another gate, but this gate is more masculine. But it also looks kind of like a church, a steeple. King of Keys, which is heir of air. Integrity, objectivity, advice, and cynicism. Ooh, this is my card. Cynicism. Right? It's interesting. Represents the qualities of a benevolent leader who seeks justice and values truth and objectivity above all. Excuse me. Symbolizes the wisdom one has access to after mastering their reality using strategy, logic, and rationale. Interesting. Okay. Now we're going to go to the suit of elixirs, which is going to give us cups. Now, I also have come up with my own keyword recently for cups is exchange. And the reason is because the liquid is in cups, it's in separate vessels, and you know, it can be exchanged back and forth. And also because cups represent sort of relationships. You know, I used to get kind of frustrated when we talked about cups in terms of emotions, because I feel like, yes, but I also feel like wands are also emotions. Like the excitement of the wands, the passion of the wands, those are emotions too, right? So they're hotter emotions, and the cups are cooler emotions. But also I think that cups are relational. You know, wands are movement and like energy, like pure energy, lightning, kind of, you know. Whereas cups are not just about emotions, but like how we relate to each other. So I'm gonna pop some popcorn while y'all think about that. And then the other words that we associate with cups are I said exchange I accidentally wrote change when I meant to say exchange. So I don't know, I left it there just because it was interesting. Relational. So flow, emotion, artistic, spirituality, and intuition to some extent, love, friendship, romance. I feel like, again, wands are also spiritual, but cups are personal. So cups are more personal, both in the emotion, because it's interpersonal. That's what I feel. feel like cups are more interpersonal, and wands are not. Wands are more self-driven, right? So wands are like about the self and the inspirations and the, what's the word I want? Wands are, is anyone still here? Nobody is chatty at all today. What was I gonna say? Drive, ambition. These are personal. Like, this is like how you personally like build yourself towards your goals. I'm here. I'm having a similar experience to what I said a little bit ago. I'm not sure what I said a little bit ago. So the wands is all that personal ambition and personal progress and personal stuff, or you personal, and then like the cups are interpersonal. So that's the distinction I was trying to make there. So again, let me know if you see anything in the elixirs, but this looks like bowling pins. Ow. Ooh. Okay, so my knee. Earlier Tio was teasing me and said my eyes weren't the only thing that was old, and he's right, because my knee is very old today. Maybe because of the rain, but like every time I move my knee, and then if I don't move it for a while, it kind of locks up. No fun. No fun. Journey. I think there's one last green apple, Jojo. So you said drink those until they're gone. Got a mommy duty. Next week is school. We don't start school until next week. Here in the wilds of Michigan. Falcon C. Let's see. Having to switch to computer to hear and try and keep the phone for the chat. Definitely still here, melting though. Is it really hot where you're at? Hey Google, what's the temperature in here?
The temperature in Cadillac right now is 62 degrees.
62 degrees here. You guys are so jealous of me, aren't you? Either that or you pity me. I don't know which. I love reading with astrology and correspondences. I'll even draw them on a deck. I'm not always getting strong images from the art, however. Yeah. The majors are much better for that, but some of the minors, like I did really well with the candles in terms of being able to find, like, for example, oh gosh, see, I need to rearrange this a little differently. Like the two, I have mentioned that the Two of Wands to me is like the concept where you start with a one where it's unity, and then it splits into two. And so once you split into two and have the awareness of two, like yourself and other or whatever, then you have here and there. So this literally is perfect for the way that I think about the Two of Wands. You now have here and there. You now have options. You now have a movement, forward growth. You can't, there's no forward movement or growth if everything is all one. As much as we want to be one with everything, there's no forward or movement or growth if we're one, right? Are you? Like, the candles are really good that way, and the other suits not so much. So I'll just put this up because I'm going to make popcorn, so I'll leave it here just so you can look at it. Oops. Jeez. I should try to adjust this again. I'm going to adjust. as best I can to get this out of the way. So, any thoughts that you have that you'd love to share, I'd love to hear. Or see and read. Yeah, we're gonna hear popcorn popping, so. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Unlike texting, you don't get to see like when you're or, like on a lot of social media, you can see when people are typing. But here you have to wait until the whole message is sent. I remember one time trying to type out a really long question for it was either TO or it might have been Dr. Mystical. Like, I had a question, but they didn't see it, and maybe it's probably happened to both of their channels. Trying to type it out, and it was long, and they're like, "Are you here? Are you here, Ultraviolet? You can tell me your question?" And it's like, I'm trying to type it. It's long. It takes time. My throat is so tight and sore today. Popcorn's popping. I love that. And then there's the 3. I'm just flipping through them. Oops. Again, I cannot stay out of the way. There were just so many really interesting kind of images I got with the candles. It's actually on a previous video if you want to look through it. So I'm just going to switch back to this. All right. Here you go. Popcorn. It's right here. Okay. I'm gonna heat up my coffee because it's like room temperature. Oh, so it's funny that it's got like, made me think of bowling pins. And of course we got this eye up here. Again, aces are aces, so Ace of Elixir. I think of Ace of Cups as grace. Now, elixirs are a little different, so that to me deals a little bit more with healing. So let me see what the book says about elixirs. Suitable elixirs, traditionally depicted as cups, holds the beverages that contain the essence of our emotional existence. I think this is going to be a really good deck to study with the book. Miss Moonlight, hello. Is it the same as Miss Moonlight Musings? Did you shorten your name, or is there 2 Miss Moonlights now? So we're doing a walkthrough of the Fortuna deck. And we're on the elixirs. I think this is going to be a really good book, or good like deck to study with the book, and you know, you can use the deck-ins and everything. as far as intuitively, it's not super intuitive, but you never know how a deck is going to read until you read with it. I've been surprised. So the beverages that contain, I feel like this, like, working through for spiritual work, for doing like deep spiritual personal work, not for readings. But I do think it'll work for readings as well. But I wanted to clarify that when I said working through it, I didn't really mean to quote unquote learn it, but to quote more to integrate it, you know? You shortened it. That's a good idea. You were wrench. Oh, ha! That's a good clue. I wouldn't know if I... Hopefully I would know if I gave a wrench to 2 moonlights. But this is me you're dealing with, so that's almost silly. Tio, like, banned somebody for... I don't know, asking to see my face. I guess he felt they really weren't here for the right reasons. Let's see. Both our sensitivity and consciousness are poured into these elixirs. This gives me, well, again, this is an alchemical deck. And the elixirs, it's giving me temperance, which is the alchemical card of all the alchemical cards. I mean, they all can be, of course, but that one especially. Both our sensitivity and consciousness are poured into these elixirs. Our feelings can sometimes fluctuate from a tempting love potion to a bittersweet memory. We drink these elixirs to inhibit our feelings or to celebrate our accomplishments. Elixirs therefore contain the liquid gold that can either poison us or purify our hearts. Ooh, I love that. Yes, look at, it's purple. It's stunning. The cards are so thick, I keep thinking I picked up 2 of them. And the backs are this. Now, I did a separate one on the majors the other day, right before Teal went on. And then, like, I got through the majors and he was already streaming, so we stopped. But here's, like, the majors are really stunning. I mean, they're really beautiful. And they have they have the astrological correspondences on them. They've got the symbols. The book is really good. So this suit represents purification. Dun dun dun. Look at that. Kind of holographic a little bit. What was I going to say? Temperance, right? Temperance again. Purification, healing, and union. Through the suit of elixirs, we share our happiness as well as our vulnerability. This suit is connected with the intuitive and receptive aspects of our existence, teaching us that what is meant to be will always find its way to us. That's a line in that song that's, like, really important to my best friend. There is no such thing as a half-empty or half-full glass. Since the expression of our souls as a whole cannot be measured by our physicality only, but by our ability to connect with higher realms and acknowledge the divinity around us. Ace gives us unconditional love, compassion, bliss, and generosity, and the element is water, of course. Astrological influence, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, the water signs. We got the moon there. Possibly a whole moon and a crescent moon. Look at that. That's really beautiful. That's a 2. There's so much. That also gives me serious, I feel like it's flowing up from the cups. Not that it's coming down, and it gives me temperance vibes again. You've got the moon. And the moon is, like, connecting them. It's making a bridge between the 2 cups. See, look at that. That's so visual. The keys were just not visual. Is Andrew still here? Like, this has so many visual cute clues. And the other deck just really didn't. I love seeing your different decks. I only have one set from... Ooh, really? See, now, I love, like, vintage decks from the 70s, specifically. So what deck do you have, Valency? And I love, like... I love the idea of having one deck that, like, you just, every reading you've done on it, and, like, your whole tarot relationship is just so, like, one-on-one with that deck. Like, that's amazing to me. But when I learned on 3 decks, plus the Rider-Waite-Smith, like, a traditional. Yes, Fallon, please tell us what deck. We're all waiting. We need to know. I'll tell you if I have it. Is it a Rider-Waite-Smith? My Rider-Waite-Smith is got a copyright 1971. So, and someone gave it to me when I ordered some other decks. Oh, you got the Morgan Greer. I have the Morgan Greer and I freaking love it. And it took me a while. And so I get mixed up a little bit between the Aquarian and the Morgan Greer. All right. The Morgan Greer, I got a new deck. I got it on Amazon. I wasn't sure if it was going to be new or used. I was hoping, actually, that it would be used. Oh, JJ Swiss. Oh, yes, that's so nice. So my Aquarian Tarot, I got secondhand. The Moon card, which is my favorite card is the Moon, is bent, and that's okay. I don't know why I actually like it. It's just, I like the imperfections, and it's like, it's my card, and it's like, it stands out. So, that's actually, I got secondhand, so it's an older deck. So that was, like, exciting in its own way. But I do have the Morgan Greer. I didn't get in the tin because I don't like the tin. I don't really like the cards in the tin. They feel weird, and they don't, I don't know, especially with the vintage ones. They don't have the vintage feel. Even if I get it new, it has more of a vintage feel if it's the original and not the tin. Morgan Greer is a good one. Morgan Greer is more expressive than the Aquarian. Like, I love them both, but Morgan Greer is just much more expressive, in my opinion. So that's awesome that you have an actual, like, deck from have you had it since? I don't know how old you are, and I don't care unless you want to tell me, but have you had it since then, or did you get it, like, secondhand? You got it in the tin because you got tiny hands. Yeah, I was thinking about, so my soul deck is the Wild Unknown. And now it's got a mini version. I think it's got a tin version. So I'm kind of thinking about one of these days when I can afford to buy tarot decks again, getting the tin version, because this one I prefer mostly to read for myself, and so I think a smaller version I could work with others more, and it would be like a good travel deck. I just love it. You bought it secondhand, or you bought it back then? Either one. Oh, you have the pocket version of the Morgan Greer, right? Right. No, I was asking about Fallon. You've had it for so long. Still complete right down to the instructions and box. It was secondhand when I got it. Beautiful. I absolutely love secondhand. I like secondhand decks, period. Like, you know, it's good to recycle or reuse. So many people, like, don't like secondhand decks. It's like there's so much superstition around them. It's silly. Spiritual people should definitely not be like, just throw your cards away because nobody wants a secondhand deck. In my opinion, whatever. I mean, you don't have to even be spiritual to read tarot, but I don't know. You can get them on Mercari for about $30. Oh. Oh, like secondhand? The vintage ones? That's cool. I got my vintage deck from the Facebook group. And I got this is vintage too. I got this from a Facebook group. She actually sent it to me free when I ordered several other decks. I spent a bit of money, I believe, with the person who sent me this. And she was like, I can send you that. And I'm like, thank you. People are very kind in the tarot community overall, I feel. Yeah, I got so excited. I got so excited. And this excited me too. These are giving me old man owly kind of weird thing. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I just love a nice vintage deck, pre-loved, pre-used, like someone. And also, I don't like when you get your deck. Like, I don't necessarily want to be super pretentious, but I guess I don't mind if I am, because I did buy a deck that's like super aged that looks like an old Marseille. Did I say that right? Tarot de Marseille. Okay, anyway. But like, this is a deck from the early 1900s. So it's like an antique, the deck itself. And I don't like to have an old deck that looks brand new. Like, once you get it and it like the borders are super white and it looks brand new, that like annoys me. And I guess after a little bit of time, it won't look brand new after just handling it for probably 6 months or a few years or whatever. This deck was I had my own sort of tarot renaissance where I had to reorder decks because I moved and I didn't know where my decks were and I hadn't been playing with them for a while, and kind of came at it from a different perspective. And so this was my first deck when I came back to tarot, and I've had it for a few years, and it's, you know, like softened, so it doesn't look all white and like garish. It looks soft. I even think it would be cool to get a one like this and super antique it, make it look really old, yellowed. I don't know. I can't be certain, but I think this would look really cool that way. And then this one was, actually, I bought these two together. This one and this one. And this one very quickly got that aged, grungy look. And again, I like that. I want my deck. I'm sorry, if I go to get my tarot read, I want the tarot reader to pull out a deck of cards that looks like they've been using since they were 12. Like, I just do. I just don't want a brand new looking deck that looks like they just maybe learned yesterday. I mean, I know that doesn't have to be related, but, and I feel the same for myself. Some people just love the new, everything brand new looking. There's a tarot tag called My Disheveled Decks, and I freaking love it. I love seeing old, like, decks that look old, that look aged. This is 1984, even though it's not anywhere near when I got it. But whatever. Yeah. I want them to be broken in. It makes me feel more authentic. It makes me feel more connected as a reader and as a person getting a reading. Yeah, I want an old, chipped up, bent up deck that looks like it's been to hell and back with you. Every deck I really wanted Nice to have decks on my list. I'm happy and beyond grateful to own some of these. Yeah, I know, Andrew, you have a pretty small collection, but I think you have more than you show a lot of times. Like, I think you have more than I know that you have, but you're not a big, like, gotta have every deck. I'm a gotta have every deck kind of, but I do not have every deck that I truly want. There's quite a few on my list, and I like there's the ones you see and you go, ooh, I want that, like that initial ooh, you know. But then there's like the ones that have been on the wish list for a long time, and some of them are like really expensive, you know, because they're out of print. Because I like the really funky ones, like shoot, what is that one deck? I have the book for it, but I don't have the cards. But the guy who wrote the Sandman comics, Fortuna. I cannot think of what it's called, but it's very cool and very dark. Yes, the Neil Gaiman deck, for lack of a better thing to call it. That would definitely be a win for me. And also there's one that came back that Katie Flowers used to use that has the numerals on it. I cannot think of what that's called, but it's a really cool deck too, and it's more thothy. Ooh, and some of the thoth, like the really good modern thoth based decks. Terra Mundi. Good grief, yes. I think Tio has that, and I'm so jealous. But like mainly the ones I want are like the ones that I want like deeply are ones I feel like I can work with in a special way, or that can like teach me something that another deck maybe wouldn't teach me. What do you think about this, Andrew? Just gonna look and see what it says here. I feel like the book like is deep and insightful, but doesn't connect as much as I want it to like the keywords that it's giving me. Like, don't just tell me a generic 2 of cups and then, you know, I don't know. So reading the cups here though, I think it was the cups that I was reading. Maybe it was made me feel like this might be a really good deck for like inner child work, and I don't know, maybe just the suit of cups, but I was feeling that sort of pull. Is an omen for prosperity and good things to come. It can indicate that our relationships, family, work, life, or intentions are blossoming. Very interesting. Okay. So, let me do the third. Too many. Let me see what's been said. I love correspondences, but the art feels a little too much like a pip deck. Oh, this deck? Yes, it's very pippish. You feel like you have too many decks. Miss Moonlight. Okay, well, just send them to me. Problem solved. Just send them to me, and we're good. Because I don't believe in, I have too many books, but I don't have too many books. I always have room for more books. I'm like a crazy book person, like those people who's always got room for another cat. It's books. Moonlight, I would obviously love and appreciate that to no end. Where was I going with this? 3. Ooh. See, I just love... Now, I'm a water sign, so of course I love the cups. I just love this. This makes me think of algae. This feels very like algae. 3 of cups. I feel like we're dancing under the water. Like, these are so... The other suits, like in the candles, I could see it. Like, I could mentally make it work. The swords were hard. But these, like, perfect for the suit of cups. I feel them. Like, they just pop right out at me. Celebration, collaboration, joy, overindulgence. Oh, I'm telling you, this is sea life dancing under the ocean in the waves. I have the zombie tarot and I need to use it more. Which also reminds me, never too many books. That's right. Miss Moonlight said, who? Oh. Oh, I've got a few unopened decks too, Andrew. You mentioned the zombie tarot, and I really want the Housewives tarot. So, like, I love they're made by the same creator. I love the 50s style, the collage style. I love the sense of humor in them both. I love the way that the Housewives is more, I mean, I will use a dark deck any time of year, but it does more fit in certain times of year, obviously. But so I feel like the Housewives is more all occasion, and of course, not everybody wants a gruesome, like somebody eating someone's leg bone kind of deck in their reading. I don't know what's wrong with those people, but and it comes in like, it looks like a recipe box. Like, it's so kitschy, it's so cool. I just freaking love it. Oh my god, the neighbor kid is screaming. Like, nothing's wrong. It's just how she plays. Yeah, I really don't know why I don't have that yet. I have the Gregory Scott. Tio got it for me. It's really interesting. Like, some of his takes are really interesting. I really I don't like sit down and read straight through them, but Little White Books, like, some people just really hate Little White Books, and I love how the Little White Books sometimes can just be very succinct and really give you, and then if they're a mess, who cares? I got 50,000 other decks. I can look up the meaning of that card online or in those other books, but like, sometimes they're just like this delicious little succinct thing that's like, oh yes, thank you, perfect. You have the Starman. I have them too. They're open, and I've got a journal to journal through, and I just haven't done all the work with them. And I even think I made a Bowie playlist of like the weird, Starman music, specifically, like, not just in Detroit, and that's probably just spam. I'll be right back. I will admit that in some ways I have too many decks. Like, I have, because I want to work with them all very deeply. And I haven't worked with all of them. Some I haven't worked with at all. Some I haven't worked with that deeply. But in one way, I already have too many decks, but in another way, you can never have too many decks. The Vertigo Tarot. I have the book for it. And like, here's the, you never know what you're going to get with me. We're not going to stay on topic, right? So here's the Three of Wands. And the Vertigo Tarot. Like, these are just beautiful. It's Three of Wands. Instead of a hand, we see what looks like a tree with 3 branches, but it looks like a hand and a tree. each one bearing a wand. Since the 3 branches are the same height, we also get a sense of a how do you say that? Candelabrum. Unlike the 2, the card is far from balanced. The wands are separated into 2 and 1, giving an idea of opposition, or a single person being isolated from a group. It's weird, I get that from the 3 of Cups on my Wild Unknown card, which isn't the general meaning of it, but I get the isolation feeling for the same reason. There are many ways people can find themselves alone and facing a closed group of other people. We can think of cliques in high school or of moving to a new neighborhood, but the flame by itself facing the other 2 also can suggest independence or nonconformity. In fact, the tree does resemble a hand, but with the 4th finger cut off. Dang. A stream of gold flakes pours out from where the 4th branch might have appeared, increasing the feeling of something removed or amputated. Notice also the thumb-like branch going off in a different direction toward the lower right. The flames burn brightly, giving us a feeling of intense energy, forcing its way into existence to challenge the world. The fire approach to life sometimes just burns its way through the world. Other aspects can become lost and sacrificed along the way. Divinatory meaning power, independence, division between people, explorations, heroic action, possibly involving sacrifice. Reversed, cooperation, people working together. Ooh, speaking of hands, the Raven's Prophecy deck. Man, I had an opportunity to get it once used from Lisa at Integrative, Lisa Pepez, and I should have got it. She was like, Mom, maybe it'll be, you don't want to pay that shipping from Canada, and it wasn't even that bad, and I put it off too long. She already had the book marked. She already had it trimmed. I don't want to do the trimming. I don't know why I didn't jump on that, because there's a lot of hands in that deck. But anyway, that's one I always wanted to have and work with too. And I love the way that she already had it sort of prepped. But like, I don't know, this deck is just dark and like, intense, like dreamy, druggy sort of, Like, yeah. Anyway, that's not the one we're here to talk about. Oops. Gregory Scott, I kept asking T.O., what deck is that? What deck is that? Because the cards themselves, to me, they don't all look. Some of them I recognize, and then others don't look like they're in the same style to me. It looks like kind of a mix of styles. So, and the same thing with the Whitefly, it's like, they're stunning, but it's also like, it's the same deck? I don't know. Oh yeah, I can see the similarity with some tarot at the end of the rainbow. That would be a nice one to have. That's not a must-have like some of the others, but it's a definitely would love to have. Gaiman and Rachel Pollack were friends. Looks like she wrote that Vertigo Tarot Guidebook. Yes, she did. Is she the one that just passed away? There was like a rumor she passed away about a week before she actually did. This is kind of murky. I think that's Rachel Pollack I'm thinking of, right? Probably, because she was also into sci-fi. And that game is not exactly sci-fi, but... $29 Oracle. Exciting. I feel so breathless. So then we have the 4 of elixirs. Let me just take a look. So I kind of like how they're like facing each other, or these are upright and these are upside down, so they're not facing, they're facing away. Kind of gives you this kind of movement. For me, it gives this feel of like expansion, I guess. And the flow in between, even though 4 is meant to be a stable number, I don't know. It feels more dynamic. But then the meaning is going to be stable instead of dynamic. Contemplation, reevaluation, dissatisfaction, and boredom. This is not a boring card. The cups just amazing. This, look at this. Love it. So we only have two. We have two that are upside down, but we have two that are upside down here too. It's beautiful. I'm not connecting with the meaning of the Four Cups with the imagery here, but it's just beautiful. Like if I were to read it intuitively, it would say something else entirely, which would be fine. Sometimes you can just do that. I don't know. You just gotta do what you gotta do. These are beautiful. Like this could be on the outside, like this gold sort of embellishment on the outside, but then it could also be something that's just growing on the inside of a glass cup. And the moons and the like rays shooting out of this one. And again, like this doesn't make me feel any of the sadness, any of the loss, even though these two are upside down. Maybe that's supposed to give me an indication. It's okay. It's okay. This is really beautiful too. I love this. I don't know what this is. It's interesting because what should be like a free flow is then broken off to here. But you know what this made me think of just now was the island, the source on the island of Lost. Like the light that was at the center of the island and the cork and all of that. If you watched it, I mean, a lot of people just, it was a lot. I sat there. So a lot of people really hated the ending. I didn't hate the ending. I thought the ending was beautiful, but I literally sat there for an hour doing nothing but crying and thinking and making sense of the ending. Like, it was very complex, and I appreciate that because not that many TV shows are really complex. Not that many people want that much complexity in their TV shows, and I crave it. So it took me like an hour to sit there and just understand this sideways reality that they had come up with, the flash sideways thing. And then when it made sense, I was like, they should call it a flash diagonal because I feel like, well, I don't want to do spoilers, but it just made more sense to me, but that's not what they called it. Ooh, you know, I have the Antique Anatomy, but it's in New York because I bought two of them. They were like cheaper to buy two, so I got two and sent them to my daughter because I wanted to get her one. And she's supposed to send it or bring it when she comes to see me, and she didn't come last time. A Lost Tarot, yeah, a Lost Tarot, but not made by Inside Editions, and kind of more in the vein of the Vertigo Tarot, right? A little bit more mysterious and like, you know, like look at this. There were so many concepts in Lost. There was so much mythology. There was the numbers, and there was like so many freaking crazy. And there was like the Dharma Initiative, and there was just like all this time travel. Like, I would only want a Lost if it was like didn't come across like a pop culture deck, but was like really freaking weird, like the show was. Supposed to expect rain at 4 p.m. Well, we've been having rain. It's gonna rain some more. You're a Lost, Miss Moonlight. Do you like the ending of Lost? And you know they're not dead. Don't get me started on that. Although it's kind of funny. It's funny as a joke, but when people in all seriousness are like, they were dead the whole time, it's like, go watch it again. A Dharma Initiative tarot. Yes! And the backs could be that Dharma Initiative thing, and like, oh my gosh. Like, I wanted, if it was really dark and kind of mysterious and spooky and like, with like art, just kind of like the Vertigo Tarot, no one would make it like that. They'd make it all like, oh, Charlie represents blah, 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 whatever. People would just be heavy-handed with it. I know they would. Maybe someday when I have a computer, I'll make like a personal one. Like, it's gotta be like, maybe a little bit collagey, but like not super duper, like with a whole bunch of stuff, but like blended and like dark and mysterious and like, you got me off. Like, I just want that. No ending would make people happy. Probably, I mean, there was, oh, well, I mean, I was happy with the ending, but we watched the whole ending, and then I found out that there was, so there's like a 2-part ending, and then there's a 1-part ending or something. And then I think it's the 1 part is longer, and it's got more pieces to it. So I watched it, and then I like missed a whole bunch, and then I couldn't watch it till later because I was like torn up, and I couldn't like just, sit through that again. But then I did watch it later, but like there was some stuff that was kind of missing from like the first ending that I saw. So there's like 2 endings, and then there's also some alternate stuff you can find online, that like this whole extra scene that explains a couple of the loose ends in a really interesting way that shows kind of the fate of the island or whatever. Hi, Effie. Anyway, you got me going. Right, an oracle or tarot oracle, sometimes people do make like a tarot oracle deck where it's like combined, and they have like the tarot cards and then like the extra cards, which you like, the Minchiati has extra cards, and like the Orasoma has a bazillion freaking cards. You found Dharma cards? Be cool. I'm pretty good, but my voice is like strained. We are like looking at this deck, and all we can think about is Lost right now. So I have not got to play with the Antique Anatomy or look at it in person or anything. But I would love to have it, and also have the oracle that goes with it, Oracle of Oddities. I don't know if you watched Lost, Effie, but this is what got us off on a tangent about Lost, was that this made me think of the source on the island. Like, why would you obstruct the 6? It seems strange, but then it just made me think of the source in the middle of the island and the cork and all that stuff. Hurley, yes, that's exactly the one. So you did see it. That's good. And then there's a whole thing where they do Lost in chronological order, which is like really super crazy, and I haven't seen that, and I don't know if all the videos are even available anymore, which sucks because I wanted to watch it, but because it just gives you a whole. I've only seen Lost once. I have not done any rewatches at all, and I saw it just a couple of years ago, way past when it was on, and it didn't feel old to me, but I'm old, so hold on. What time is it? 3 o'clock. Probably been streaming for like 9,000 years. Well, I don't have Netflix anymore because they ended the password sharing, and which they told everyone they could do, and then they said nope, not anymore. So I had my oldest son let me use his. So yeah, I want to watch it. Like, if I watch it again, I'd like to watch it with someone else. And it's funny because I actually didn't pay that. A lot of times I didn't pay good attention because I have ADD. So, but it was still really good. But it would be more fun to watch it with someone who hadn't seen it yet. And I know I missed a lot, but I also like caught a lot, and I knew like I wanted to look things up because I knew there was so much depth in it, and I did look one thing up that managed not to give me spoilers. But what was funny was someone was having theories in like season 1 or 2, and on this board, and someone responded by saying it's not that deep. Like I'm sure the TV show producers didn't like come up with all that, and it's just like cracked me up. It's like, you are a dummy, because this show is deep as hell. Like some people just are completely lost on it, or don't think it's deep necessarily because they just don't like. There's so many references. There's so much in it. Jeez. I didn't see it until just a couple years ago. My son made me watch it. And it was, yeah, so like 2 years ago, I think it was, that his dad passed away. So it was 3-ish probably years ago, because we watched it maybe 3 or 4 years ago, because we watched it pretty well before then, because after his dad passed away, we didn't watch TV together anymore for a long time. And then it was kind of spotty. It's a TV show. And it's weird and it's confusing, but it's really good. But you gotta be there like the right kind of person to like it. Like, yeah, if you really like shoot, I was gonna say esoteric, and that's not exactly what I mean, but like, if you really like being fucking confused, otherwise not so much. Like you're watching it and you feel all the time like you missed something. So I would always ask my son, and like he would kind of not understand. Like because I was sort of half paying attention, I'd be like, oh, I asked him to explain something, and he'd say, you gotta wait. And I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't want a spoiler. I just meant, did I miss something? You always feel like you're missing something, but even when you're not. It's like, if you really like puzzles and like brain twisters and stuff like that. Yeah, it's... And I mean, I started picking up on like a lot of references. I was like, ooh, like, okay. Because I have a really wide sort of knowledge of weird esoteric things. So I was like, oh, I know where this is kind of going. Maybe, I think. Oh, Andrew, you were really sick. I think maybe I knew that. Ugh. Whenever I get a chance to meditate, I'm already so tired. Speaking of which, alright, so 6. This is just really cool looking. Anyway. 7. Right, 7 of Cups. So we've got 3 upside down and 3 right side up. And then we got this unembellished cup in the middle. And we got the waves. And like the top and the bottom, we have this. So this is the walking away. And my well unknown... No, it's not. It's not the walking away. It's the choices, right? So another thing too is because I think about the even and odd numbers, like the even numbers a lot of times can form a path, and the odd numbers kind of blocks a path. So like 6, you've got that clear path. Like the 6 of Wands, you've got that clear path, and 6 of Swords, you got that clear path through the water. After the 5 has got it closed up, where you lost your money or whatever, you got that closed energy. And then the 6 opens it up, and then the 7 blocks it. Or the 5 is not really closed as much as like that disruption, that instability, that breakthrough energy or whatever. I don't know. So I always think about that, the 7, and then the 8 opens up again with the it's like, okay, 7 presents you with all these choices, and 8 says, you know what, I don't want any of those. I choose me. I was like Jackie from that 70s show. There's a clip of her, and she's supposed to be choosing between Hyde and Kelso, and she says, I figured out who I love the most. Who I love the most is me, which we think, you know, Jackie, that she's selfish, you know, but it's like, she's kind of right, you know? She chose herself, and that's what she should have done. She's like, I choose me. If I could run across the beach into my own arms, I would. But here's 7 in the wild unknown, and it's got that topsy-turvy feeling, too. So I like it, because it gives, like, that disoriented feeling. And, like, in other cards, you see the genie. I don't know. Like, it works for me. So the 8. So here, like, is abandonment, walking away, whatever. Don't really see that here. But these 2 are separated off, and there's 3 on top, 3 on bottom. What's that about, eh? We've got this unity. Like, I would never think of that in the 8 of Cups. We've got 2 groups of 3 and 1 group of 2. To me, that says something about some type of unity. And 3 are in 2, like, groups of, like, growth or whatever. Let me see what... I've kind of looked away from the comments, even though you guys are, like... I was really enjoying it, but, like, I wasn't able to focus on both. So for the longest time, nobody was saying anything, and then the conversation got so good that I 8 of Cups to my cards. This says moving on, letting go, abandonment, attachment. I like that. I like it going beyond just abandonment. It does say Lord of Abandoned Success, which is interesting, and I've also heard that too. It's like they stack the cups and then they walk away. You know, it's like the Wild Unknown shows these broken glasses, and I don't like that. It's because it's like, no, like, nothing was wrong. Like, you actually got this success here, but you just walked away for whatever reason, good or bad. Something else called to you, you know. And it wasn't that there was any flaw in that thing. It just wasn't what was right for you at the time. Or, you know, maybe you made a foolish decision, either way. This is heading toward a mountain, right? The higher ideal, higher goals. Not because we're suffering, but because we know better, it says. So the 8 of Elixirs is ruled by the first decan of Pisces, which is related to Saturn in Pisces. Planet Saturn was traditionally referred to as the Lord of Time, right? While the sign of Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac, which indicates completion. So, ooh, okay. Right, okay. 8 of Elixirs indicates we have knowledge of our situation and that we are ready to pursue new endeavors. Saturn rules time, and as we know, time heals any wound and also grants us wisdom. Except I don't believe that time heals wounds, but okay. That's what you're doing that time. But I guess, like, literally, if you cut yourself, time, it will heal if you make sure it doesn't get infected, you keep it clean, and maybe you cover it or whatever, if you do the right things. But if you do the wrong things, if you pick at it and you let it get dirty and infected, it won't heal, it'll fester, it'll get worse. So time doesn't necessarily heal wounds, but that's my tangent, right? Wisdom is the ultimate lesson Saturn has to offer us. Despite the challenges, we will learn and grow from them. The number 8 in numerology is connected with enlightenment, and so is the sign of Pisces, ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, in traditional astrology, and Neptune, the planet of spirituality and dreams in modern astrology. We instinctively know when it is the right time to move on, and so the 8 of Elixirs is a sign that the universe is inviting us to explore new realms and let go of the things that are not allowing us to move forward in our journey. Yes, you are ready. Ooh, I like it. Who's leaving? Did Moonlight leave? I left. The chat could be so... Oh, you guys weren't chatting as much when I wasn't reading. Oh, Moonlight says her break is over. Oh, I probably missed my chance to say goodbye, but enjoy not being on your break. Miss Moonlight's 8 of Cupsing us. She's out. She's like, I got other stuff to do. The two in the middle are different, and it just doesn't... I don't understand this choice, but, you know, you don't always have to understand the choice right away. It doesn't always mean that it's a bad choice or a wrong choice. Sometimes the answers come with time. Like, this card is about time, you know? Answers come with time. They're not always immediately obvious. I think that's okay. I think there's as much value in that. With working with the cards, struggling with it, thinking every day that this is like the worst depiction of the 8 of Cups, and then one day you're like, oh, you know? It's just how it works. I believe in that. Have a great day, Miss Moonlight. Have a great day. Alright. Let's see what else. Gotta love the Pisces. Alright. 9. So this is like, you can kind of think of it like a trophy case if you want to. Right? You got the rose nicely. Looks like a bookshelf, kind of. And you've got these on the end. And then you got, okay, these two are the same, and then the one in the middle is, you got the eminence. Like, this one is filled with grace, like magical grace. I think. And if you watch Supernatural, don't get me started on that show, but if you do, then you have a different idea of grace. Or a specific idea of grace. Abundance, wishes fulfilled, pleasure, contentment. I mean, it works. It works for me. Oh, yeah. There's like 3 at a time. So threes are, but also threes are good. Like, you've got 3 threes. I mean, by blacking them off, you get that idea of 3 threes. So you've got like a trinity of trinities. And this is water, even though I said a bookshelf or a trophy case, but this is water, I think. So there's a flow, there's an exchange between them, I feel. If it's a watery bookcase, you know, it's not actually like, it's not actually separating them. It's only visually separating them, because you can just go right through water. But I'm glad you mentioned that, though, because it made me think of how it's broken into the three threes, the trinity. The trinity of trinities, are like with Star Wars, the trilogy of trilogies, right? This one in the middle, I think, is the first, right? This is the first series, right? So this is New Hope, and this is Return of the Jedi, and the what's the word? It starts with an E. Empire Strikes Back, right? Or is it backwards? Is Empire Strikes Back the last one? I don't know how I got to Star Wars, but I did. Because I don't think the 9 of Cups, we wouldn't want to think of it as closed off. I think there's just a visual separation. But it's just water. It's very easily permeable. I feel like the cups are all sort of underwater as well. It's like waves or something. I don't know. Maybe just because I like it that way. I like the idea of the cups all being underwater, because I am a water sign. Yep. So yeah, so that's, and then this down the foundation would be the prequel, trilogy, and this would be the sequel trilogy, which I don't know those movies that well. I know like the first one. I know this, and this, and then after that I don't. But anyway, Star Wars cups. Look at the 10. It's just beautiful. See, these are upside down, but we know that it's perfect. And these ones look like hourglasses, the way that they're put together. Just really beautiful. It makes me think of the Karma video by Taylor Swift. And if you watch the Karma video by Taylor Swift, if you are a Swiftie, it's kind of weird. So you gotta look up like someone who does like Easter eggs or whatever and kind of explains some of the cool things that she does, because it's really cool. Like when you understand it, it's fun. I'm a kind of a Swiftie, but not the kind that like, I don't know who she dated and when and what order. Like I know who she dated, some of who she dated, but like I don't know the details about it. This is pretty. The ADD is strong with this one. It's just very pretty and happy. And the star and the waves. It's all like happiness tied up in a big ribbon. And it's like, so usually you get the rainbow, and this is like a double rainbow or whatever, kind of. It goes all the way around. It's pretty. And 10 is Lord of Perpetual Success. Mars in Pisces. That's interesting. Because, I don't know. What does it say about Mars? All I think about with Mars is war, and I don't think of war in terms of the 10 of Cups. Passion, right? Okay. Passion contained in Mars is mixed with the dreams depicted by Pisces. We see this card indicated that after a period of devotion and effort, we are finally being presented with the life we wished and worked for. However, this card can also indicate there is a strong will within us to constantly achieve new things, Mars, and it can create some delusions in our journey, Pisces. Never. I came up with some fun, I'm not going to go into them now, but fun things about the 10 of Swords. I was not satisfied with. I felt like, 10 of Swords. 10 of Cups. It's like, okay, happily ever after card, but it was just too simplistic. And then I just didn't want to work with it, and I was like, came up with some correspondences of my own that I do think really fit really well. Maybe. Alright. Princess of Elixirs. This is so pretty. It's like, it looks like it kind of looks like a perfume bottle, but then at the same time it looks like somebody who's like got a shawl around them, and they're like holding, it's wrapped around there's a necklace like wrapped around their heart. So, I don't know, it's just really pretty. The prince, so this also looks like a sort of a perfume bottle, but it's of course more angular. All the princes are more angular. Makes sense. You could also see like a bridge here, right? If you look at it with a perspective. Or a road. Going towards the star, going to the yellow brick road to the Emerald City. Dun, 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 dun. And we got the wings. That's strange, because this is elixirs. Ooh, this is beautiful. This is so beautiful. And I can see like a oh my gosh, this is so freaking weird. A Futurama. Does anyone see? Nobody said anything for a while. All messages are visible. Okay. Lena from Futurama, right? She's got the one eye and she's got kind of like snaky hair. That's weird that came out to me. Like, yeah, these are fun. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. For sure. And I've been on for a while. I'm surprised I can still talk. Yeah, that was just so crazy that just showed itself to me in that way. Like, I mean, you know, you've got a bottle. It could be like a genie bottle, elixir bottle, but all of a sudden it was like an eye in the middle and like this sort of snaky Medusa hair. You can also see like a road here or a path towards the moon, and this sky path toward the stars. Kind of really cool too. It's really cool things going on there. King of elixirs. It's really nice. Again, I think this is more meant to be water, but it gives me like this seaweed deal that I like this dancing seaweed. I have this whole thing with dancing seaweed. Just never mind me. Kind of looks like a crystal, kind of. Or like a, you know, kind of pyramid-y. Like the pyramid and the sun. Enjoy your time of emotional fulfillment. Oh yeah, 10 of Cups. Ooh. So now we have Ace of Talismans. Look at that. So pretty. Oh. Suited talismans, traditionally known as pentacles, represents the inherited value of consecrated objects to preserve the spiritual powers contained in them. Since ancient times, humans have turned highly vibrational objects into talismans to use these objects' energy to bring more prosperity into their lives. Okay, cool. And I would definitely expect to be able to use these cards in an alchemical way, you know? As well as for the protection against evil forces, right? The penance and mirrors, from penance and mirrors to swords and even silk cloths, people have used talismans to honor their connection with the spirit world. It's weird. I don't usually see that thought too much with pentacles because we're more into the physical now. Offers us grounding, protection, and abundance. So talismans therefore emphasizes the connection between the spiritually charged objects and the owner, creating a unique match. As talismans can only be used by those who cast the spell on them, the suit is a reminder of your innate power to bring affluence of any kind into your life. Okay. Financial opportunity, prosperity, investment, last opportunity. Beautiful. Signs Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Definitely. Just gorgeous. 2. So, right. So we've got the lamniscate. We've got, you know, there's the balance. The, you know, singular energies now 2. So now you have 2 things to manage rather than just one. 2 responsibilities that are calling for your attention. Oh, that's so pretty. Ice cream cones. Ice cream cones. Also made me think of like a hot air balloon. Even almost, yeah. Oh, there looks like a, not Metatron's cube, but the other thing that's the light body chariot thing. I cannot think of what it's called. Merkaba? Looks like there could be a Merkaba in there. Teamwork, collaboration, accomplishment, disharmony. More in reversed, I guess. I've been thinking about this card, and for me, it doesn't represent work, but it does represent teamwork. And also, it occurs to me that it's about building, because it's about like building on, step by step building on. And also, they're literally building a building. Like, they couldn't hit you over the head any harder with the word building. Whereas, with the 8 or whatever, that's like work. I can see that more as work, but I don't see this as, like, some people feel like they're both about work, and I don't see this as work or apprenticeship. I see it as like working together, or, you know, building upon step by step, or just building in general. This says Lord of Material Works. Exactly. You're building a building. Look at the 4. That's just gorgeous. Gosh, see, that gives a good stability, good sense of stability, even though there's a wheel in the middle, like, which is weird because these are round, so kind of confuses it to make it like 5 circles, but this is not a talisman. These are talismans. And it could be the Seal of Solomon or whatever as well. I'm going to look and see if it says on here anything about the specific shapes of the talismans. Maybe, but in my quick look, I didn't see it. That gives you this sense of foundation and sturdiness for a good 4 of Pentacles, in my opinion. Like in this case, it's good that everything's tied together, because you think of the 4 of Pentacles as like holding on. 5. Okay. These never give any negative feelings. So the 5 maybe being the loss, financial loss or whatever. Let's see what it says here. Poverty, financial loss, unworthiness, recovery. Lord of material trouble. 5 of Talismans is traditionally depicted, blah, blah, blah. Symbolizes poverty in every sense of the word. Represents when we have hit a hard time financially and psychologically, so we can feel everything has been stripped away from us. This card is ruled. So, I guess with these moons the way they are, you might be able to feel like everything's being pulled away. I don't know. Visually, it's not giving. Go on, girl, give us nothing. This is so pretty. This is so pretty with this beautiful embellishment in between. So, and it's almost like a sword, right, with a hilt of a moon. Or your scale, your balance, right? These are so really pretty. Just so pretty. Ooh, See, this feels like a sun. So we've got the 6 and then we get the 1 on top. 7 of coins. So here is the giving and the 7 is that this is the waiting, right? I don't know. And it's been a long day, so maybe another time when I'm a little fresher. Long-term success, sustainability, growth, and patience. I guess you could maybe see growth. You could see this as like a bush. This seems like the sun, honestly, sort of shining down on the growth here. This is pretty, gosh. This would be the work, right? This looks almost like a stained glass window. You see how that's like a window shape or like a piece of stained glass. There's not much really said about the art. There's a little bit said about the symbol of the talisman, but there's just not much said about the art. That's for you to figure out. Lord of Prudence, craftsmanship, skill development, perfectionism. So, you know, like, that works for me in terms of it being a stained glass, looking like a stained glass window or something, because, I mean, that is art and workmanship, absolutely, you know. Someone else might see something else, like they might see like a table with plates around it, or they might see something with these lines, or the stars and the shapes here, like the every other pattern. But for me, I see the stained glass and I can see that as art and craftsmanship. Very obvious, just very, very well. 9. So no, this one looks kind of crazy and busy. So we've got 2, 2, 2, 2, or we've got 4 and 4, and then this one. So 4, 8, 9. They're all kind of moving around their own sun. Like this is maybe a solar system. This is a solar system. I don't know. Like the inclusion of other circles is not my favorite. It looks cool, but it also looks, when I first see it, it looks like chaos. But then when I look at it a little longer, I can see the order in it, and I can see the balance in the order. Let me look at the 9 of Talismans. Luxury, influence, fortune, or setback. Lord of material gain. Suggests that in order to obtain abundance in life, we must appreciate every single moment, including the details that might seem insignificant at first. Abundance is a state of mind. Okay. Don't necessarily see that. Like, what are the things that might seem insignificant at first? I don't get that. These are really cool, and I wish there was like some explanation of them. But I don't want to get too much into the guidebook, but it's really beautiful. Like, also makes me think of you know, clockwork, gears, lots of gears. It's got a geary feeling. Things working together, everything working together for perfection, for, you know. 10. all around this sun that kind of radiates out. I wonder if you can kind of picture this more as more dimensional, like that this is above and it just shines all its emanations down. Oh, okay. Princess of Talismans. This looks kind of like, this is diamond shape, right? Like a diamond ring. This diamond ring doesn't shine for me anymore. But then there's just like puff of star, like little, like almost like hair, clouds. Very kind of cool. Princess, prince. So now here's an example where in this suit, most of the suits, the princess and the prince were very similar. It was like the same thing, but the princess was usually rounded, and this is edged off. This is round, and this is edged off. And then the prince would see something more with the more straight lines. Total opposite. Now the prince has the rounded lines. We've got a sickle, which, okay, reaping, I guess. Very interesting. Because this makes me think of like the flag for the like Islam. So that's kind of weird. And it's not the same like image. Like this is a diamond ring. This is not a piece of jewelry. It's not another ring. It's like a totally different thing. This is practicality, productivity, stubbornness, apathy. Alright. Represented by a scythe in this deck, a symbol of harvest traditionally assigned to the planet Saturn, which was considered the god of agriculture. The sun in Leo represents our creativity and vitality, but also our ego, self-centered nature, so we can see how a scythe can be used to reap our reward or punish ourselves. That's nice. I like that. The energy of both signs. This is so funny because I've been looking for someone to explain. Like, I haven't really seen that much. Maybe I'm just missing where they're explaining the symbols. Anyway. The sun in Leo represents our creativity and vitality, but also our ego and self-centered nature. So here we can see how a scythe can be used to reap our rewards or punish ourselves. I like that, punish ourselves. The energy of both signs is a combination of fixed, Leo, and cardinal, Capricorn. I would so think it was the other way. Representing how to find glory, we have to invest ourselves fully in what we do, reminding us success is not built overnight, but through hard work and consistency. This can imply we may have to struggle at some point in our journey in order to get what we want. I can imply that. I think that's pretty much a guarantee. I let my coffee get cold, which makes me always think of the song "Staring While My Coffee Grows Cold." Pretty women are walking with gorillas down my street. If you know, you know. So let's see the Queen. Beautiful question. Is it cultural appropriation? Because it feels like a dream. But maybe it's not. I don't know. It's like a dream catcher, but probably not. But it could be a necklace. Well, it is a talisman. Interesting, this talisman is a ring, so that's a little different. And this one is definitely a necklace. Nurturance, generosity, kindness, altruism. It's probably hot enough. I always let my coffee get cold and forget I have it, and then I heat it up. And then it's too hot, and then I forget about it, and it gets cold, and yeah. It's an endless cycle. Alright. We're going to look at the king. So the king, the queen is a necklace, and the king is a sword. And a crown. How very interesting. There's no crown for the queen. That doesn't seem very fair. She has the moon. But it's down here. Not a crown. Right? So our king... That's a throw off. Because, I mean, it's a sword, right? And it's not the sword suit. So that's probably one that's gonna be a little grain of sand in my oyster until it turns into a pearl. The King of Talismans is depicted by the figure of a sword in this deck, resembling the tail of the sword in the stone. The sword Excalibur was a very powerful talisman cast with a specific purpose. This magical sword could only be pulled out of the stone and respond to someone of the rightful sovereignty, a true leader. The son of the water bearer, Aquarius, is traditionally ruled by Saturn, representing the wind of change, committed to social equality, collecting the water of the past, and pouring the water of the future into society. Venus, ruled by Taurus, represents reliability and loyalty. Dang, guys, I need a nap. I've been doing this for a while. Is anyone still here? A couple of people. Okay. King of Talismans therefore symbolizes the figure of someone who has other people's best interests at heart. The energy of both signs represents a combination of the double fixed energy, Aquarius and Taurus, depicting how we should not be driven by power and control, but by connection and empathy. I don't know. So those are the cards. Then there's spreads designed to assist you in your spiritual journey. So they're spiritual spreads, so I like that. I'm going to have to work with these. So purifying the soul. Nice. Finding clarity within. Turning into gold to achieve your maximum potential. Nice. Alchemizing your reality. And then there's acknowledgments. And then there's a little thing. Here's the author. Okay. Let's feel these cards. Like, they are thick, chunky boy. Like, they're hard to hold in your hands, let alone even I don't know who. I'm gonna have to pull the way up now. I do not know who would be able to like bridge these, because I can't even get my hands around them like this, let alone like this. I mean, forget it. No. I mean, I don't care. I don't have the bridge. But I do have some of my cards facing the wrong way. And, I mean, these are thick. All right, there's a little bit of stickiness, but I think it'll go away with time. So I think they can go like that pretty well. And then do like a waterfall type of shuffle. I feel like I always need to do something that more than just hand over. If not bridge, then a waterfall that will actually, take it with every other kind of thing. Otherwise, I just don't feel at all like it's going to be. Oh my gosh, they're so freaking pretty. Like, when you shuffle them, they're like magic in your hands. But they're very big in your hands, too. And I'm just trying to shuffle, like, on camera so you can see. And if I wasn't, I'd probably be able to do it a little better. The color is breathtaking. I'm going to shuffle up here now where you can't see. message for the collective for spiritual growth. And enlightenment. Nothing major, just spiritual growth and enlightenment. And I'm going to do 3 cards because I want to see a spread. We've got the beautiful chandelier, Queen of Candles, and she's like dancing. She's just dancing in her beautiful way. She's giving off her brilliance. She's like sharing her light and shining it onto others. So can we have, oh, look at that. 3 of Cups. Right. These are just so freaking pretty. I really want, okay, we got the Seeker. I was like, I really want to have a, hey, back-a-boo, I'm almost done. I went through this whole amazing, gorgeous freaking deck. Well, I mean, in like 3 different videos. So now we're doing just a message for the collective. We've got this beautiful queen just shining her light on everyone else. So Lizzo's in a little bit of trouble. I don't want to talk about it. But she's got a line in her one song. She says, if I'm shining, everybody gonna shine. And I love that. Like, that's what I'm feeling with the Queen of Candles today. Is like somebody whose shine does never diminish anybody else's shine, but just like adds to it, you know? Look, if I'm gonna shine, you're gonna shine, we're all gonna shine. And then even goes really well with the 3 of Cups, like the whole kind of like sisterhood team, like we're in this together. We're all in this together, and the better, you know, the more that we can build each other up, and the more that we can encourage each other, and the more that we can like highlight each other's strengths and skills and talents and you know, brilliance and so on and so forth, the more sort of successful we can all be, the stronger we can all be together, and the more oh, Becca, are you going to the wedding, or what are you trip can't talk, what are you packing for? So yeah, I really see like this as being like you know, like strong older sister, motherly, or whatever kind of like, you know, just lending, using our talents and skills and brilliance and shine to, you know, to highlight each other in this way. And then we have the Seeker, which is the Fool. And so like, to create this beautiful journey together. I feel like this really represents the tarot community, the tarot tube community really well, honestly. I feel like it's just one of the best groups overall, and just really nice energy. So I'm going to look at the Seekers, what the Seeker says. Beginning, optimism, carelessness, and rebellion. So I'm really seeing like the optimism in this, you know, like seeing the best in each other, bringing out the best in each other for a whole forward movement, unified together as a community. This card was renamed to represent the querent in a reading, as the word querent means one who seeks. It is our inner curiosity that pushes us to embark on a new journey, seeking to find our truth. Sometimes to find the answers we seek, we must wander, as exploration is part of the process of self-discovery. What's important about the journey is the lessons we learn through it. rather than race and destination. The planet Uranus is directly connected with innovation and discovery, and is the ruler of the 11th house of astrology, which represents one's hopes and dreams. So yeah, I feel like that really does join with, like, you know, using our talents and strengths to bring out the talents and strengths of each other. So I think it's a little hard to handle. It'll probably get easier. It's stunning. It's beautiful. The cards are thick and gorgeous, and they're, you know, they're purple on the edges and whatnot. And despite the fact that they're very pippish, it was pretty easy for me to read and get a really good message. I did go in to the guidebook for the Seeker, but I mean, it read really good. It read really, really good and easily for me. So Tio is still around, man. He's been quiet for a while. He'd probably been in and out. Becca, boo. What do you think? Are these stunning or what? So lots of love to Tio, because he got me this beautiful deck. Tio, you nasty boy. Nasty boy. He's like, that's how you like me too. Listen, everybody ain't gotta know. And I don't know, there's just like this moon crescent covering, like we're covering each other, you know, like we're, like, you can stand under my umbrella, like we're being an umbrella for each other and we're supporting each other. This is what I feel about this beautiful purple message. Brella, Brella. I used to hate that song and I came to really love it. Under my umbrella, Ella, Ella. See, it's Ella, not Brella. So, like I said, despite the pippishness of it, I mean, it was not hard to get a message. It wasn't hard to read. Let me just throw another 3 cards down just as an experiment. Oh, Tio, you want a reading?
Mom?
Yeah?
Can I tell you about my spawn in Minecraft?
I'm almost done. Becca, you want a reading? Anybody who's here, if you want a reading, I'll do. What does UTV think of me? Aww. Aww. Oh, wow. Wow. All right. 6 of candles. I'm trying to think about the 6 of wands. Looks like 2. There's no. Oh, jeez. Tio, I swear to God, I'm gonna smack you. I could say something so naughty. I mean, if you... Tio! Don't get me banned from YouTube. Aha! I see. Oh, boy. Andrew, oh boy. You men, you're all not right in the head. I'm just saying, okay? I was thinking about the 6 of Cups instead of the 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands is... Why can't I think of what the 6 of Wands is? Oh, that's the victory, right? Duh. With the... Back is like... Say it, UTV. I'm like, okay, you know, if you want. You know, I could be convinced. still wants. I don't think so. Anyway. You're welcome, Salmon. So, she thinks you're a winner. And a wiener. And a magician. You guys are killing me. She thinks you're a winner and a wiener and a magician. Magic wieners. Right. My baloney has a first name. Right? Alright. Anybody else have a question? That was fine until y'all put your brains in the gutter. By the way, I took up the cards already read because I just want to see. Anybody else have a question so I can see how it is to read from this deck? Becca, ask me something. Don't forget big bananas. That's, well, let me see. That's what this is here. Can you clearly see it's shaped like a banana. Clearly, there's a banana right there. How will this trip go for Becca? How will this trip go for Becca? Oh, my PayPal is indeed set up. Have you done it before, so it's the same. I don't know if you need a link. If you need a link, TL can probably get it. Ooh. Elixir. Ooh. So the elixirs are all about healing. We've got the Two of Cups. So that's nice. So I do see some healing for this trip. Healing energy. Connecting energy, like important connections. Not necessarily with the person that maybe you've recently been disconnected from, but maybe someone else where there's some bonding and closeness and connecting, like that's about to take place. And we've got the Prince and the Princess of Elixirs. Look at this heart and this sort of, she's like all wrapped up, like there's this protection, that you're wrapped up in this protection. And I feel like this is a prince and princess. It's given like mother energy, but it's a prince and princess. Maybe there's some children there that will be like extra loving. And I see this bridge here, like crossing a bridge, and here's the bridge too. Like some connections, some important healing connections being made is what I see. Oh, well, good. I feel like he's just trying to upset you, get you in a bad headspace, and have an excuse to like be meaner. So yeah. Well, it looks like some connection and healing and loving energy for you, Becca. So I would say, like, I think it reads pretty well. Even though it's, like, quite pippish, but it's also just, I don't know. It works. It's also, it looks like E.T. Do you see? Anybody see E.T. right there? Like, it's got to be from a distance. If I bring it up close, you'll see the details, and it won't look like ET, but ET. And this even gives me a little bit of Yoda, like Yoda and ET. You're welcome. Yoda and ET are just gonna wrap you up in love, Becca. You gotta let me know how that prediction comes true. And growth. I see lots of beautiful growth. Use here on this card. Right there. That's so cool. You guys want to see it up close? I guess you still can kind of see it. That's not crazy. I love the unintended. That's so fun, you know, just the unintended things that happen. How do you feel about how my book will be received when it's finished? Let's see. How will Fallon's book be received when it's finished? Oh. Ooh. Oh, you've been working on it, huh? I think it's gonna reflect all the hard work that you put into it. Like, it's gonna be very obvious. Not like obvious to where in the way that you don't want it to. I think it's gonna I feel like it will appear effortless in a way that lets your skill and your effort will shine through. Now, financially, could be some issue. Well, no, this isn't financial. These are financial. This is good. This is, ooh. So you might think this would be negative, but it just occurred to me that there could be like a bidding war for your book. There could be some competition among publishers or among agents. But I would feel like, who cares about that? As long as you get one good agent, that's fine. But if you get like a bidding war between some publishers, because like this looks like work and success to me. So I do feel like this is going to be like competition for it. So I'm trying to think. I need... So, okay. Oh, you're self-publishing. Well, sometimes self-published books want to be published by, like, sometimes houses do want to sometimes they pick up a self-published book. I don't know. I just feel like there's some kind of good competition that will help you. So I looked up looked up the 7 of Talisman, long-term success, sustainability, growth, and then the 8, craftsmanship, skill development, perfectionism. So just exactly what I said. I feel like it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be like a really tight product that's gonna clearly show your hard work and skill and talent and ability. Is it a fiction or non-fiction? I'm just curious. And then candles. This says struggle, opposition, inner tension, and relief. for keywords, but I'm just feeling like it's going to be successful, and then it's going to be like, maybe not necessarily, I don't know. I just feel like there's, maybe you'll win a competition, because sometimes it's competition, but I feel like this is like you winning in some type of contest or competition, or like desire for what you have offered. Does that make sense? If that makes sense for you. I just feel like I gotta call her. Well, I feel like you'll definitely be like competitive, because this is showing success and showing skill and showing all the hard work that you put into it. And it looks good. It's a MM romance? MM? Tasty. I gotta sing for MM. Alright, Fallon C. I'm on Instagram, if you want to message me on Instagram and give me any more details. What's my Instagram? Anybody know? Ultraviolet Tarot for Life. Like number 4, and it's all one together. So if we're not already friends on there, you can add me. Alright guys, I get to go. I love you all. I've been on here forever. Come back when it's loaded and put some comments on what your thoughts are. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, love, share, subscribe, and all those things. Hit the bell. Come back for seconds and thirds and more. And I love you all. Until next time, be well. Be well. Thank you. I really do look forward to hearing about it.